So traders, just a quick update across the actual stock market. The futures markets have just opened up, and I want to share with you the main levels to keep an eye out for this week when trading the main indices, and what could be coming this week, and why I believe we could be running into a bit of a short-term resistance when it comes down to these markets from here. So this is what I want to share with you right now. So right now you can see that the futures markets have opened up. The S&P is up just over 1%. Dow up 1%, Nasdaq up 1.7%, and the Russell up 1.9% as well too. So we can see we've had a bit of a gap here in the market here, right? So, and this is the daily charts here, and you can see we've actually had just a little bit of a gap up. But one thing I really want you to keep an eye on for is there is a major level. There's actually a few major levels of support and resistance coming into play right now. And as you can see, this is the weekly chart on the S&P 500. And you can see we've actually had a big move down, but now we're getting a rally up. And there's a lot of areas of support and resistance. It's more like an area, right? So where we are right now, right? If I show you this here, actually, let's do this here. Let's actually go down to, let me just go to the weekly daily so we can see the weekly daily here. And go to the S&P 500. And as we can see, if I go to the S&P 500, if I move this over a little bit more like that there, it's more like an area. So if I bring up like a band, we can see where it is right now too. This is a really important point where we are right now in the markets, because if we see here, we have this area where it is right now to possibly even up through there. And let me sink you in layer. And as you can see where we are, right, this is the actual, this is the obviously the daily charts. But right now you can see, if I zoom right in on this weekly charts, you can see this whole area through here is indeed a really significant area of resistance. Lots of support, lots of support, lots of support through here. So you can see what's going on through there. And also, we're right at this level right now. So this is a really, really, really important point right now. I think that the market's going to reject it. We're going to start to see a bit of a rollover. We've got a bit of a short-term pop here initially. Gold's selling off really strongly as well too. But we actually have a little bit of a short-term pop. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see this whole area through here. Even if we do get a little bit more up to a little bit more move to the upside, we can see what's going on there on the S&P 500 there. On the Dow, if we go check out the Dow, this is the Dow here, and the Dow is actually a pretty sort of strong line. If we bring up the weekly charts, and you can see here from a weekly chart perspective, we are getting this whole area through here. So this is the important point, and look where we're getting to right now on the Dow. So this is I believe this is getting towards the end of this move right now, and we can actually see this here. So this is the really important point. We're just getting a little bit of a pop to the upside on the daily charts, but that, once again, that level around the 42,000 level is a really significant level in the past. So I wouldn't be too surprised, even if we did have a little bit more move to the upside, that this is probably going to run out of steam, and we're probably going to see a bit of a sell-off coming out of that one there, out of the Nasdaq. Looking at that's the Dow. Looking at the Nasdaq, and the Nasdaq is actually just a little bit higher here. The major level of support and resistance in the past is actually a little bit higher than where it is right now. So we've actually got this very short-term level of support and resistance. So this resistance through here, and we actually have levels through there, and we can actually see that we're actually getting very, very close to that level. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we do sort of, have this move to the upside. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that this whole area through where we are right now, being a strong area of resistance in the Nasdaq. That's obviously the level up through there, which is that level all through there. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing here, even if we did get a little bit more move to the upside. I wouldn't be too surprised to start to see a little bit more weakness. So what I'm expecting, even from the Nasdaq perspective, which is that level all through there, even if we did get a little bit more up move, I wouldn't be too surprised to see this thing, even if we do get some of that, to see this thing start to come back down through to there. Same for the Dow. The Dow's pretty much right at that level right now as well too. So we have three major indices here right now. Three major indices are right now starting to get into these levels through here. So this is the keep an eye on this resistance level for the rest of this week.